Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I have got a huge Natasha Denona ranking video planned for you. So I have previously filmed my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette collection. I have since actually added to that collection, and I did see Mel Thomsons. So if you don't know who I'm talking about, she is a fellow YouTuber. I will link her video and her channel down below for you guys to check out. But I did see her actually do this in a video. She ranked her Natasha Denona eyeshadow collection, and then I think she actually ended up doing a couple of other videos with other brands, which I really loved that idea and I loved that concept. So I thought I would do the same for you guys today, because I do have quite a lot of them. And yeah, quite shockingly, I decided to figure out exactly how much my collection was worth retail wise, and I have spent a whopping 2,255 Australian dollars on my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette collection. Obviously not all in at one go, but still, when you add it up, it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Any noises that you can hear in the background, I'm sorry. We are renovating our home at the moment, and that is Phil in the front yard being the handyman. So yeah, apologies if that is irritating, but maybe I'll put some music on or something to distract from that noise. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, so for the way I've decided to do this is I'm going to rank my larger palettes like these ones first, and then I'm going to get into the smaller palettes and rank them, as I think they sort of do deserve their own category. So what I am going to do is rank them from the worst, in my opinion, to the best, or my least favorite, I should say, to my most favorite. Okay, so I'm sure if you guys have followed me for some time, this is not going to be a surprise, but of course my least favorite Natasha Denona palette is definitely the Tropic Palette. Now, I have said for quite some time that I will be depotting this. I'm just waiting on a couple more magnetic palettes to arrive so I can go ahead and do that. The mattes in this palette are just beautiful, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Like, we're going to do some swatches in this video, so get excited. What else can I swatch for you guys? I'll swatch this one here, and definitely Cocoa. So this is some of the swatches on my fingers. As you can see, really, really stunning colors. Now, I have absolutely no issues with the way that the mattes perform in this whatsoever. The problem that I have is the way the metallics perform. So for some reason, and I really don't know why, there's maybe one or two in here that work beautifully, but the others are just terrible. And I really, like, I wish I knew why, because some of these shades are just so unique. So in particular, these two shades here. So this is the blue one is Tiger Lily, and the green one is called Exotic. These metallics are, they basically came with hard pan. They don't blend, they don't apply even with a finger, like, and I'll show you what I mean. So if I try and swatch it, that's where we're at. I just, same with the green, so I'll show you. I mean, the green honestly swatches a bit better, in all honesty, but not to any level of, you know, the quality of Natasha Denona that I'm used to. This one here is called Mint Frost, and this is such a unique shade. So I'm just going to swatch this over here. As you can see, that swatches just fine, and that is honestly the sort of level of expectation that I had. It is still a little bit on the drier side, but I can definitely still use it, and it is a beautiful, beautiful shade. But it is really just these two in the middle that just don't work. Even Limoncello, which is this one I've got on my little finger here, I'll swatch it somewhere here for you so you can see. That's, I mean, it's definitely more of a topper shade, and it's a beautiful, unique shade, but again, it just doesn't give you that punch that you expect from a Natasha Denona formula. Again, as I said, the mattes, these blend out just stunningly, and this one here is a shimmer, so this is called Gusty, and that is absolutely beautiful, as you can see. So that I can definitely get away with using, but for some reason just Exotic and Tiger Lily. They just don't work. And they were the two shades that I was most excited about when I was purchasing this palette, you know. I found the color scheme to be quite unique and really, really beautiful. So I was very, very excited to get it and use it. And, you know, I honestly thought this was going to be one of my favorite palettes, but it ended up just being one of the biggest flops. So yeah, really, really sad about it because, as I said, the mattes in here are absolutely beautiful. They work just incredibly. Fake tan, which look, I'll be doing this like throughout the entire video so you guys are aware, but I just want to show you fake tan because it's such a nice color. So this one here is fake tan. Absolutely, that is probably one of my most favorite transition shades of all time. It is absolutely stunning. It just blends out so, so beautifully. So yeah, I don't know what happened to the rest of them, but definitely my least favorite ND palette, sadly. Would not recommend. Which I can't believe I'm even saying that about a Natasha Denona palette. Like, what? Anyway, moving on. Oh, I think I should also mention too that I've got 8 big palettes. So yeah, I guess 8 to 1 is how we're going with this. Okay, so the next one is the Leela palette. Now this might actually surprise a few people. It did definitely surprise me when I was sort of figuring out my favorites, but of course, you know, they've got to go somewhere. This is definitely a palette I would purchase. Don't get me wrong. It is a beautiful, beautiful palette. And in here, there are just some really, really unique shades. So I'm going to pull this down so I get the names of them right. This one here is called Dragon Bite, and I don't know if you can tell, but this is definitely a duochrome. Maybe if I'll see if I can use my camera on my phone to show you guys, but this has a beautiful pink base and it shifts this absolutely stunning greeny gold color that you can definitely see. It's absolutely phenomenal. And again, when we're talking about like metallic formula, as you can see, this is the expectation that I had from the Tropic palette, and that's why I was so disappointed. This is just absolutely stunning as well. There is something about her metallic formula that, you know, again, with the exception of the Tropic palette, she just gets it so bang on. Again, this is more of a duochrome, and you can definitely sort of see that as I put my finger down. So it definitely has this really beautiful orange undertone, and then it sort of reflects pink pearls as well. Really, really stunning. And again, just the mattes in here are just so, so delicious. I'm going to swatch a few more on my other hand now for you guys to have a look. But yeah, her matte formula is just, in my opinion, one of the best matte formulas. It's just so beautiful. So that's a couple more swatches for you there. Have a look at that purpley shade. Absolutely stunning. So for this palette, I personally don't use it probably as much as what I should. As I said, the formula is just absolutely out of this world, but I do sometimes struggle to come up with whole looks, and I really don't know why that is. I'm just going to bring a few of those down my fingers so you can see. You can definitely see the duochrome in that now. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's, maybe I'm just feeling a little bit uninspired at the moment with this particular color scheme, which is weird for me because purple is generally my most favorite color of all time, hence it being all over my eyes today. But yeah, I don't know, I just don't reach for this palette as much as what I honestly thought that I would. And to be honest with you, it's, you know, when I first got it, I was just mesmerized with it. I thought, you know, this is just so unique. It's something really, really special, something that I don't have in my collection currently. And all of that is still fairly true. But yeah, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I have a tendency to reach for her other palettes. So maybe I just simply need to pull this out of my collection, pop it up on my desk, and, you know, make myself use it and fall back in love with it, because I know when I first got this I couldn't put it down, and I really, really did enjoy the formula, and I still do really enjoy the formula. I definitely think it's well worth it. The other thing I quickly want to touch on, and I think that all of her palettes are like this with the exception of the Tropic one and the, what is going on with my hair right now? Oh, with the exception of the Tropic one and the Sunrise one, which is somewhere in there. The packaging is all very much faux leather. I love how her name is embossed in this, and the stitching, just everything about it is just very, very luxury to me. I also really love the fact that you have a decent sized mirror that I haven't taken the protector off, and you also have this to protect the shadows with the names on it. So yeah, I've always enjoyed the layout of her eyeshadows. It's just really, really nice. Okay guys, so next up, this is one of her original palettes. This is one of her original artistry palettes. This palette is gigantic. This is it. As you can see, it is huge, and I actually do have it all over my eyeballs today. I really, really love this palette. I love, as I said, purple, it really is one of my most favorite colors. I really do enjoy the formulas in this. The formulas in this palette is actually quite different, I feel, to the other palettes that I'm going to show you today, and definitely the first two that I've shown you. We have some shimmers in here. We have some more sequenty sort of formulas. Beautiful matte formula as always. That to me, and for me, is definitely one of her most consistent formulas, is her matte eyeshadow formula. It's just beautiful. And of course we have duochromes. I honestly think that Natasha Denona does some of the best duochrome shadows on the market. As you can see, I do have one all over my lids at the moment. It is a little bit, I suppose it's a little bit untrue to how it actually looks, say if you were to just go ahead and swatch it normally. So this is the duochrome that I have all over my lids right now. It actually does have a very deep undertone of like purple to it, and then it's got this beautiful silvery blue reflect. Now the reason why it probably looks more bluey reflect than anything else is because I do actually have it sitting on top of a P. Louise purple base. It's the one by Mitchell. Let me just bring it out for you to have a look at. Yeah, so it is sitting on top of this one here. This is from the Acid Rain collection, and this one is in the shade Ecstasy. I really, really like these paints. I think they are beautiful and they work absolutely beautifully. But of course, I'm going to swatch a couple more of these because we are here to talk about Natasha Denona, so let's get on with it. Okay guys, so here are some of these swatches I have got for you. Look at that silver. Like, just check it out. It is just stunning. As I said, I love the matte formula. Just everything about this palette is beautiful. It swatches beautifully, it applies beautifully, it blends out very, very, very easily. And that's another big tick for me, especially when it comes to this palette and Natasha Denona's formula, is the fact that, you know, you don't really have to be there for hours and hours and hours blending. It is a very, very user-friendly eyeshadow palette in my opinion, and I think that's great, especially for somebody who maybe isn't a professional makeup artist, who does just want to, you know, invest in some decent eyeshadows and give it a go themselves. I think it's just really, really wonderful that it's just literally so easy to use. So yes, that is why that one, I suppose, is ranked where it is. I still love it, don't get me wrong. Not my absolute favorite out of them all, of course, we're getting there. The other thing I should probably mention in regards to this palette, guys, is the fact that it is the most expensive eyeshadow palette that I own. So this is $372, something like that Australian. Absolutely astronomical price. Do keep in mind you get 28 shadows and they are at 2.5 grams each. So you do get a hell of a lot of product for your money, definitely. So I suppose if you want to look at it like that to justify it, you can do that. But yes, it is just absolutely beautiful. I don't regret purchasing it. It's something that I, of course, will have in my collection for many, many, many years to come, and I'm sure I will get many more great looks out of it. Okay, moving right along, we've got this one here, and this is the Sunrise palette. Quite different to the others. First thing that you're going to notice is the size. It is definitely a lot smaller. And also the actual packaging, very, very similar to the Tropic palette. So it's a hard plastic and quite reflective. Just gonna open it up. I'm gonna cover the mirror, but as you can see, it does have a massive mirror, which is great. And I actually think this would be pretty good to travel with because of the hard plastic. So I think you wouldn't have too much of a hard time with that. And then of course, this is what the palette looks like. Really, really stunning colors, beautiful warm tone shades. Let's just do a couple of swatches for you guys so you can have a look. I think Awakening is probably one of my most favorites, which is this one here. Really, really stunning shade. As you can see, my hands are like covered in glitter right now. What is going on? Hang on. Hang on a second. Okay, we're back. We're good. All right, as I was saying, Awakening. Yes, love. Absolutely beautiful shade. The next one that I'm going to show you is Glory. Now, this is a matte shade, and I just, ooh, it's such a stunning, like, red cranberry combination. I even could, like, pop it somewhere on this look today, I reckon. It's such a stunning shade, and it blends out beautifully, and red can be quite tricky, as just like purples of course, to you know, perfect and have it easy to blend out. So this is just a dream to work with. The next one I want to show you guys, oh, what one should I pick? I wish I had more fingers for this. Okay, so let's go Day Spring. Again, this is another metallic. It's like, can you see that? Like, it's just such a stunning gold shade. It's gold, but then it's copper, but then it's gold. You know, it's just such a stunning shade, and it's quite unique. So that's the other thing that I just love about Natasha Denona is the uniqueness of her shades. You know, we can't reinvent the color wheel. I get it, I know, of course. But I don't know, there's just something about her artistry. She just has an ability to just put a fresh twist on things, and I really feel like that color there is definitely a fabulous example of exactly that. Okay, lastly, I'm definitely going to have to swatch this one. This is called Asta. Again, it is a duochrome, go figure, my fave, and that's what it looks like there. So it is this beautiful, stunning purpley duochrome. It does have a purple base with this really wonderful bluey purple pearl to it. Again, something that I could very easily, you know, get away with popping all over my eyes today if I wanted to. But yes, just absolutely stunning. So I really, 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 really love this palette. This is something that I definitely reach for all the time. Again, you know, as you guys, you know me, I love a nice warm eyeshadow, so it's probably no surprise that this is, you know, definitely one of my faves. I want to challenge myself a little bit more with the yellows in this palette. I definitely don't use it as much as what I should. I don't know, for some reason I'm never really satisfied with the looks that I come up with when I've got yellow on my lids, because I normally tend, like, I think it's probably because it just gets blurred out with, you know, more of an orange look that I end up with. So I don't know, it's something that I'm gonna have to challenge myself more with. Okay guys, so next up, following the Sunrise palette, is of course the Sunset palette. Again, you guys know, warm tones. They're my jam. I like them. I mean, I'm about it. So this one here pretty well broke the internet when this was launched. It was meant to be limited edition. It sold out very, very quickly. I was very lucky to get my hands on the original because apparently the formula changed or something. I'm not too sure about that. But I was very, very lucky to pick it up when this very, very, very first launched. And it's just so pretty and beautiful and very well loved, as you guys can see. I'm really not too sure, you know, why this was initially going to be a limited edition palette. I know that is a bit of a hot topic. People sort of don't like the idea if someone says it's going to be limited and then all of a sudden it's not. I mean, I can understand where people are coming from in regards to that. But for me personally, look, I'm an eyeshadow collector, palette collector, as you can tell, and if I missed out, I'd be absolutely devastated. So I am really sort of grateful that we had the opportunity, or that others had the opportunity to pick this up and still have the opportunity to pick this up today. So yeah, I think bringing it back as a permanent palette was a smart move. Anyway, so this is what some of them look like swatched. soft. As you can see, my hands are getting really stained. So again, the matte formula, you guys know it's one of my absolute favorites of all times. The formulas in here are really, really quite unique, and I love that about Natasha Denona. So on one hand, you have this one here, which is like your true metallic, and I mean, just look how stunning that is. It's a really, really beautiful orange gold. And then you've got, sorry, this one here, which again, absolutely stunning, true gold. But the formula on this one, and also the one on my thumb, it's more of like a foiled formula. So I personally like to pop this over like a like the Too Faced glitter glue or something like that. I just think that it holds it a little bit better and just makes it sort of, you know, just look that much more amazingly metallic, if you know what I mean. You don't have to, don't get me wrong, like you absolutely don't have to if you don't want to, but I just feel like it gives it a little bit, you know, something something if you do. So yeah, they're my recommendations for those, definitely. But overall, just a really, really beautiful warm tone palette. If you don't like a warm tone palette, if you don't like warm tone shades, this definitely is not the palette for you, of course. So I get that, but yeah, I vibe. I really vibe. Okay guys, so we're definitely getting through it. This is my third favorite big Natasha Denona palette that I own, and this is the Metropolis palette. Now this was released Christmas 2019. I'm honestly not sure if this is limited or not. I know it's sold out on this Sephora Australian website, but I'm pretty sure you can still pick it up on the Natasha Denona website and Beautylish. You might need to check that now though. But I mean, look, you can see why this is one of my absolute favorite palettes. The color selection in this is phenomenal. Price point, it is $205, so it is the same price point as one of these babies. But the difference is that you do get more of a color selection. So even though the grammage is only 1.35 grams per pan, whereas, you know, in one of these palettes as an example, it's 2.5. I just really do appreciate the color selection that you get. Now, for me, this was a bit of a scary palette to use, or for me to pick up, I should say. And the reason for that is because it's kind of like some of the colors in here are not generally colors I would normally reach for. So it was definitely going to be a palette that was going to challenge my artistry. And I'm really, really happy that I did decide to pick it up. I didn't buy it straight away. I actually waited quite some time before I purchased it, to be honest with you. But I'm so happy that I did. I ended up doing a look for my sister's formal. So she's graduating year 12 this year. So I did do a makeup look for her using this palette, and it turned out really, really beautifully. So yes, so far have enjoyed. I'm of course going to swatch some for you now. The other thing that I wanted to point out is, again, it's, you know, her formula, it's changed again. There are some shades in here, and I'll get you the names and I'll swatch them for you so you can see what I'm talking about. But they're almost like, they're like a hybrid. It's a matte, but they're so silky, like it's incredibly insane. So one of them that I will, so I'll swatch two. I'll swatch Royal and Symbol. So these are the two that I'm going to swatch for you. This one here and this one here. And just wait till you see how they transform. It's just insane. And they feel really good too. Like they feel incredibly creamy, really, really soft. They're just like, look at those colors. I don't know. To me, I think that they are so, so unique and just absolutely stunning. Of course, I'm going to swatch a couple of the metallics as well. This blue is just, I have worn this all over my lid recently. It is absolutely to die for. Check out that green. It's just, it's such a, like a huntress, beautiful, stunning green. I love it so much. And then of course that matte formula, it's something else. It really, really is in this palette. Completely different to the other matte formulas of hers that I'm used to using that I love. Those formulas are also definitely those formulas are definitely also in this palette as well. But she's definitely tried something new with these, and I'm about it. I'm glad that she did, because yeah, it's just, it's an incredible experience using them, and the payoff is just phenomenal, I think, you know. So yes, I will post some photos probably later on in the year. Obviously due to COVID-19 and everything that's going on, my sister wasn't able to have her formal when they were originally meant to have it, so hopefully she will be able to attend her formal towards the end of this year, and I'll be able to create the look again for her and show you guys that whole experience and doing that. That's a video to come for sure. But yes, such a stunning palette, and of course I'm just going to show you again because I think that you just need to really take it in. You know, it's just, you've just got so much option here. So again, another one that I would definitely recommend picking up if you haven't already. Okay, moving right along, and this is coming in at number 2, and this is the Natasha Denona Star Palette. Now, this has a very, 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 very special place in my collection because this is the very, very first Natasha Denona palette that I ever purchased. And let me tell you, it was terrifying for me to purchase it because it was at the time so expensive. It still is so expensive. So I believe this is sitting at approximately $270 thereabouts. So it is still quite pricey. It's a little bit more than the others because you do get a couple of more shades in this one here. And look, I love this palette. I absolutely adore this palette. The idea of it was you sort of get 2 palettes in one, and you can very much see like that's the idea behind it and how it was set up. Of course you can use, you know, these shades with these shades if you wanted to. Like, there's no rules in makeup, right? Do what you want to do what makes you happy. But I do believe that was the general idea behind it. And once again, you know, you can see a number of different beautiful formulas that are so truly Natasha Denona formulas, if you know what I'm saying. So up the top here, yes, on this side, and also up the top on this side here as well. I'm just looking in the monitor. I should just look in the mirror. Those ones are more of that beautiful foiled metallic finish. And then you still have like her original, like just your standard metallic finish down here, along with some beautiful mattes as well. So I'm just going to swatch a few because they are just divine. So yeah, I remember when I first made the difficult decision, because it was hard to invest in this because it was so much money, and I'm pretty sure I saw it on Beauty Bay at the time, and it was on sale, and so that's what made me go, okay, now's the time to get it when it's on sale, and I'm so happy I did. So this is just a couple of the shades. This one here, it's definitely not doing it justice. That is your classic duochrome shade. So it has this beautiful brown base, and then it shifts these lovely green and gold almost pearls. Really stunning all over the eye. It's just beautiful, one of my favorites. This cranberry matte is just so beautiful blended out. It looks absolutely stunning, and again, this is more of that foiled metallic formula that I was talking about before, and again, it just looks so stunning all over the lid, or just, you know, as an accent in your inner corner. Amazing. So yes, I love the Star Palette. I used to wear it every day. I wore this to its absolute death. I wore this so much it got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to give the green brown duochrome like look a miss for a while, because I wore it to death. I really did. I loved it that much. It was a bit much. But yeah, really love this palette, and I think you guys can see why, and that's why for me it comes in at number 2. Okay, so my number 1 big large palette from Natasha Denona that is just my ride or die is the gold palette, and I'm sure there are no surprises here. I have done a dedicated video on this eyeshadow palette. I love this eyeshadow palette. If I could only keep one Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, it would be this one, and that's a massive thing for me to say. Like, whoa. But truly, honestly, it would be this one. It's just stunning and I love it so much. I use it all the time. The mattes in here are just to die for. And it's not just about the formula anymore, it's about the colors, right? Like these are just everyday go-to beautiful, beautiful shades. The golds are just so unique in here, like just, that is such a stunning yellow gold. Like it's just so, so beautiful. And then of course you have this lime chrome duochrome shade that is literally just so intense and so transforming. Like I love, 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 love the looks that I can come up with using this palette. I'm going to use my thumb in a really awkward like way. Again, so there is another swatch on my thumb. That's more of like, you know, like your dirty gold. I love it. It's just stunning. This palette is to die for if you are only going to invest in one Natasha Denona palette over your lifetime. Make it the gold. I honestly, you will not be disappointed. This is the one for sure to get. Okay guys, so onto the 5-pan palettes now. So this one here was a holiday release for 2018. This was the Cranberry Palette. Now it was re-released in just normal packaging, so not the limited edition packaging. And I have to say this is a really, really, really disappointing palette, mainly or really only because of these two shades here. So these two shades look incredible. They look like they would just be so glorious all over the lid. But again, I don't know whether it's a case of hard pan, but that's what you get. And it's just next to impossible to blend out. It's, yeah, look, it's just, to me, it's just so disappointing because I wanted to love this palette so much. Like, honestly, I really, really wanted to love this palette. This shade here is called Daisy, and that's the pink, the pink metallic. It is probably one of the most unique shades I have seen. It's such a stunning shade, and so to be honest, I'm not mad at the fact that I picked this palette up specifically so I can have that shade. Like, I really do love it that much. It's just so beautiful. Also too, again, this one here, really stunning. The metallics, I have to say, in this palette are really, really beautiful. Like, they do not disappoint. That one there is like more of a duochrome shade, that one there. But yeah, so like the metallics definitely do not disappoint in this palette, but the mattes are such a letdown, and for me that's why it had to be my least favorite out of my my 5-pan collection. Okay, moving right along, and this one here is called Eyeshadow Palette number 5. This is definitely one of the originals. I got this in a Beautylish Lucky Box one year, and the formulas in here are stunning. Now, I really do love this eyeshadow palette. I do think it's beautiful. The only sort of, I guess, not downside, well, I guess it's a little bit of a downside, is that there's only really one matte formula in here, and so that does make it a little bit difficult or challenging to get a complete look. So as you can see, like, just that is just such a beautiful iced color. It's stunning. The metallic formula in here is just incredible. This matte works beautifully. I wish that's how the cranberry mattes would work, but never mind. I'll let go of that issue one day, I'm sure. But look, honestly, I do really love the shades in here. It's just that I don't reach for it that much, based on the fact that the majority of them, of course, are all metallic. So it's just one of those things of, like, if you're looking for a specific, you know, eyeshadow look, and you want a specific shadow, then you would go and pick this up and make it work. It's just not something that you would otherwise travel with or be able to, you know, I guess create a whole look with, in my opinion. It's just, and you know, for that reason, it's not something that I guess I reach for all the time. But as you can see, the shades are really, really stunning, and I'm definitely happy to have it as a part of my collection and sort of, you know, use it with all the other palettes that I've got. Okay, so lastly, my last little two. This was so hard to decide which one I liked better. Like, I'm not even kidding you. So, of course, I am talking about these two here. So we've got the, what were these called? Joya and Aries. Now, this was really, really hard for me to decide what I liked more. This one ended up coming second, and this is called Joya. Absolutely stunning. Really, really love the colors in this one here, honestly. These two were the 2017 limited edition holiday release. And again, I really like the matte formula in this one is very, very similar to the Cranberry, specifically to this shade here. It's definitely better. But it's again not my absolute favorite. This gold is just stunning. Like, I don't have anything in my collection that's like that gold. It really is just so, so beautiful. What else didn't I swatch? And this one here is more of like a duochrome peachy shade. Really, really classic shade, that one. But yes, absolutely do love this palette. I use this all the time. I haven't reached for it all that often lately, but again, definitely one of my favorites, and I love the formulas and just the color scheme. It's just stunning. Okay, so of course, moving on to my favorite, and that is the Aries palette. Look, you can of course mix this one with the Joya palette, no problems whatsoever, but I just love, love, love this palette so much. And I do realize, I have actually just realized that this one too only has one matte shade, but oh, look at that matte shade though. You guys can see why I love it, right? This blue, absolutely stunning. Like, I just die. This all over the lid / in the crease, I should say, and that all over the lid rather. It's such a beautiful combination. Like, it really, really is. Again, really, really stunning metallic shade right here. A little bit more of like a peachy gold. Again, same but different. And of course, you've got this one here, which is just so, so, so pretty. That in your inner corner is just to die for. And then you've got this really, really like meaty burgundy metallic, and as you can see, that's very, very unique and so, so stunning all over the lid as well. So yeah, I really, really love this palette, guys. This is definitely my favorite 5-pan palette that she's released, and I am sorry because they were limited edition. These are ones that she hasn't re-released, so yeah, you can't pick them up anymore, so I'm sorry, but they are definitely my favorite, so I had to mention them, of course. I really do feel guilty being like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't buy this. It's fabulous, it's wonderful, but you can't get it. So that's the one sucky thing about limited edition. Okay, onto the mini palettes now, and we're gonna fly through this. So this one here is the mini sunset palette. Love, love, love this palette. Again, I think that it does work beautifully with this sunset and the sunrise palette. The shades in here are different, so they're not the same. I know a lot of people were concerned with purchasing it thinking, oh, well, you know, I already own the sunset, so I'm not going to buy it again. Oh, is this sunset or sunrise? Hang on. Sunset. So they're like, well, I already own the big one, so I'm not going to buy the small one because, like, what's the point? And I totally get that, and I hear that argument 100%. The reality is, though, with these shades, they are different to the shades that are in the palette. So this actually does go quite nicely together. Again, also too, if you are traveling, a really nice thing to have when you're traveling, and there are 2 matte shades. So yeah, I mean, I do enjoy it. It's not my favorite out of all the minis that I own, but I really do like to pair it with the sunset / sunrise palette, depending on what I'm using on the day. Okay, so next up we have this one here, and this is the mini Star palette. So you guys saw how much I loved the original. This is the mini version of that. Again, all the shades in here are unique. They are different to what is in the Star palette. This one here is the duochrome, of course, as that is definitely one of the signature shades in the Star palette. Quite different. So this is more of a blue-green pearl, definitely. And I think it's absolutely stunning on the eye, and just a different, you know, refreshing take on the original. So again, I'm just gonna look, I may as well swatch them all. I'll swatch everyone except the light shade, because we all know what light shades look like. So that's what they look like. Really, really stunning gold. I love a nice dirty, almost green gold. Really, really beautiful, especially coming into this time in Australia right now. We're going into winter. So as I was saying, we're coming into winter in Australia right now, and I just feel like these shades are really, really beautiful around this time of year. So yeah, really, really happy to have added this to my collection. Again, great to travel with, and just easy to use, I guess. And that's probably the best thing about Natasha Denona is it's an inexpensive way of trying her formula. Yeah, they're just super, super easy to use. Okay, so finally, my number one mini palette, mini Natasha Denona palette, is the mini Leela palette. So again, really interesting to think about where the Leela palette ranked in my bigger palettes versus where it ranks in my minis, but anyway, so this is the mini Leela. It is quite different to the original. All the shades again are different, which I love. So that just means that, you know, it complements the original palette really, really, really beautifully. So I'm just going to show you a couple of the swatches now. There they are. As you can see, that blue purple shade is just, it's just out of this world. It's such a stunning shade. I actually used this as an eyeliner recently and it was just, ooh, it looks so good. I really, really love this palette. The mattes in here just work absolutely beautifully, and of course the metallics are just to die for. You can use this palette and create some really phenomenal looks just using this little mini palette alone. And again, as I said, if you're not used to Natasha Denona, if you're interested in, you know, exploring the formula, this is a really great inexpensive way of doing it. These retail at literally $42. So yeah, I think it's a really good inexpensive way of being able to try out her formula and give it a go for yourself. But yeah, those are some of the shades there, and just, oh, aren't they just so pretty? I don't know, I'm a sucker for purple. As you guys know, I love purple, so there they are. My fingers are screaming, like literally. They are so sore from just like all the rubbing of the shadows. They are very, 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 very stained, but we got through it. I needed some water, yay. Okay guys, so that is in its entirety my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette collection, and that is how I have ranked it. So please let me know in the comments down below, if you have made it this far, what is your favorite Natasha Denona palette? I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to know what your favorite one is, and actually while you're there, let me know what your least favorite one is. I'm kind of very curious to know that. This channel has officially just hit 1,000 subscribers. I literally, like, I don't even, wow. Thank you guys so much. I genuinely really appreciate all your love and support on this channel. I know I say that every video, but I genuinely mean it. It means the absolute world to me. It was such a shock. You know, I started doing this because I have makeup. Because I have so much makeup and I love makeup. And so I thought, well, I may as well share it with people who also have a passion for it. And I really didn't think it would, you know, turn into you know, a couple of years later, and then all of a sudden I've got 1,000 subscribers. So to some that may not seem like a lot, but to me it's so much. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys are having a good week, a good month with everything that's going on. Hopefully, if you're in Australia, thankfully life is slowly starting to you know, go back to some kind of normality for a lot of us. So yay, thank you, yay, exciting. And hopefully that's just going to continue. So yeah, stay safe as always, guys. Thank you so much, and mwah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.